Hello everyone, and welcome to 3D History on YouTube. Today I want to revisit a theme deeply tied to childhood: Mark Twain, the Paddlewheel Steamboat, and the Mississippi River. What is your childhood tied to? Mine is tied to those worn-out pages of the Adventures of Tom Sawyer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and to that strange but unforgettable river with a curious name, Mississippi, spelled with 4 S and 4 I. I still remember it, as if I myself had been Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, those boys full of energy, hungry for freedom and adventure. I can see myself running along the docks, diving into the Mississippi's waters, climbing onto a shaky wooden raft, or wandering through the vast paddle-wheel steamboats cutting their way across the river. The pounding of the giant paddle wheel, the long echo of the whistle, the bright laughter of youth, all of it pulled me into an endless journey. And in the midst of those adventures, one name always appeared: Mark Twain. Who was the man who painted this world of childhood? Mark Twain. Mark Twain was the pen name of Samuel Langhorne Clemens, the man who gave me such a vivid childhood through his books. But why Mark Twain? Among river pilots, Mark Twain was a sounding call that meant 2 fathoms, 12 feet of water, just deep enough for a steamboat to pass safely. And in the same way, his literature was a safe yet thrilling passage for young readers. Never too shallow to be trivial, never too deep in philosophy to be overwhelming. It was just right, a river of words where anyone could drift, surrender, and live out the grandest of adventures. Mississippi, the water highway of America. On the water highway of the Mississippi, the great red paddle wheels once reigned supreme. The river stretches over 2,300 miles, beginning in Lake Itasca in Minnesota, flowing through 10 states, and finally pouring into the Gulf of Mexico. Geologists say it is more than 70 million years old, an ancient witness to the North American continent. On that mighty river, paddle-wheel steamers carried not only goods and passengers, but also dreams of discovery. In my imagination, the spinning paddles were the heartbeat of adventure, the driving force of progress, and the decks of the steamboat, with jazz music, gambling halls, and boisterous voices, became the stage of youthful passion. Literature and the river. Mark Twain himself was once a riverboat pilot, a man who lived the life of the river. He breathed the vitality of the Mississippi into his literature, a flow without end, mirroring the cycles of the river itself. In Life on the Mississippi, he recalled every bend, every danger, as if they were life's own trials of growth and courage. In Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, the river became a true companion, untamed, wild, but forever free. Thanks to Twain, my childhood was merged with that river, living side by side with brave boys on their daring adventures. The journey of the paddle-wheel steamboat. The paddle steamer worked through steam power. Boilers created pressure to drive pistons. The pistons turned the main shaft, and the massive wheel slapped the water to push the vessel forward. It was a simple, ingenious design, perfect for wide, shallow rivers like the Mississippi. Yet it had many limits. The giant wheel took up too much space. It broke easily in rough waves or collisions, and its efficiency fell sharply in the open sea. Time moved on. Screw propellers arrived, compact and far more efficient. Then diesel engines, powerful, reliable, sealed the fate of the paddle steamer. Once the pride of the river, these boats now live only in tourism, in museums, and in the pages of history. The pounding sound of the paddle wheel that once echoed across the Mississippi is today just a distant memory. Memory and legacy. Perhaps I will forever remain Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn, drifting on a wooden raft, gazing at a paddle steamer as it glides down the Mississippi. And Mark Twain, together with those boats, will live on in humanity's memory, as symbols of freedom, adventure, and the restless energy of youth. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you so much.